The western half of Canada is actively discussing
what's driving this is 9 years of liberal think this is just Alberta. No, this is Alberta, Saskatchewan, large parts of Manitoba, and northwestern and...
A political earthquake is rumbling in Western Canada, and this time, it's not just noise. Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and even British Columbia are done playing nice with Ottawa. Fed up with federal overreach,
upset. Quebec is upset. I think that you'll hear from other provinces.
Liberal deficits, and Mark Carney's endless climate crusade. They are now openly building a Western economic alliance to bypass federal control. This isn't about venting on social media anymore, it's about legislation, referendums, and actionable strategies. Alberta Premier Danielle
Alberta sovereignty within a united Canada, but we also would like to see Team Canada be on Team
Smith is leading the charge. Her government has already used the sovereignty within a united Canada Act twice, not as symbolic gestures, but as legal battering rams aimed straight at Ottawa. Now, she's pushing for a full-scale independence referendum by 2026. The goal, collect 177,000 signatures, a number so achievable in Alberta, it's like filling a few Tim Hortons drive-through lanes during morning rush hour. The Alberta Prosperity Project already has 66,000 organizers on the ground gathering names for an even earlier vote in 2025. This isn't empty posturing. A recent Angus Reid poll shows 25% of Albertans would vote for separation today. That number jumps to 30% if the Liberals win the next federal election. The frustration is rooted in hard numbers. Alberta has lost $500 billion in investment over the past decade, thanks to federal policies like Bill C-69, dubbed the No Pipelines Act, tanker bans, and endless red tape. The province is demanding port access, control of its own resources, an end to equalization payments, and most of all, the freedom to run its economy without Ottawa's interference. But it's not just Alberta. Saskatchewan is right behind. Premier Scott Moe isn't banging the separation drum just yet, but his province recently passed the Saskatchewan First Act, legislation that blocks federal agents from entering provincial project sites. Support for separation now stands at 34%, with 42% of young voters already leaning toward the exit. Political analysts warn that one more blocked pipeline could push support past 50%, turning separatism from talk into action. And theirs. British Columbia, known as the Polite Province, BC has seen support for separation jump from 20% to over 30% in just 1 year, the highest level ever recorded. It's not just rural voters anymore. The sentiment is surging in Vancouver and Victoria, where professionals, students, and office workers are openly asking, why stay in a country where the system is rigged against us? Despite contributing heavily to Canada's economy and receiving zero in equalization payments, BC remains shackled by federal bureaucracy. 17 major mining projects are currently stalled thanks to Ottawa's suffocating red tape. Even veteran MLAs admit they've never seen the province this disillusioned. Manitoba, though quieter, is watching closely. If Alberta and Saskatchewan exit, Manitoba's economy, deeply tied to oil and agriculture, will be dragged along. Experts warn the province could lose up to 18% of its skilled labor force by 2026 if Western separation gains steam. And while Manitoba hasn't officially joined the independence push, it's already at the table for early-stage discussions on a Western economic compact. The plan: build a four-province alliance, Alberta, Saskatchewan, BC's interior, and Manitoba, to sideline Ottawa and create their own trade and policy framework. Why is this happening now? After 9 years of Liberal governance, Western Canadians feel more alienated than ever. Billions lost in energy investment, pipelines blocked, industries stalled, resources trapped, equalization payments siphoned east, while Western provinces are left struggling under a government obsessed with climate optics. Mark Carney, the Liberal starboy, tours the country with polished speeches and ESG buzzwords. Completely detached from the realities of the West. Western frustration is no longer a phase, it's a blueprint. It's organized, legislated, and gathering momentum. Angus Reid, polls show 25% of Albertans, 20% of Saskatchewanians, and nearly 30% of British Columbians would vote for separation today. If the Liberals win another federal election, those numbers will only climb, turning discontent into outright rebellion. And Ottawa, still pretending this isn't happening. Still chasing carbon credits, Twitter applause, and international optics. Carney talks like a man who's never stepped in mud or spoken to anyone who works in the real economy. Meanwhile, Westerners are building a new future, with or without the rest of Canada. If Alberta's referendum reaches even 35 to 40% support, the national conversation shifts permanently. The question will no longer be, should we leave? But why are we still here? At that point, it's not about saving Canada, it's about surviving it. Canada isn't falling apart by accident. It's being managed into irrelevance by a government that values hashtags over hard work, climate targets over common sense. And as Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and BC pack their bags and reach for the door, the message is clear. The West is done waiting.